guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Hi, my name is Rosie, and thank you so much for taking a moment out of your busy day to spend a few moments with me. So in today's video, I wanted to show you how I'm creating this 4th of July little mini album to kind of document all the 4th of July fun that was had this year. So here is the little Folio mini album, and if you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so I've pre-cut all of my pieces. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's work on the base to begin with. So let me just grab that piece real quickly. So I'm going to be using single-sided paper. However, you can use double-sided. It'll probably work a little bit better with double-sided. But I wanted to show you what a single-sided project would look like. So what you're going to need is a piece that is 8.5 by 8 1/4. So 8.5 by 8 1/4. We're going to place it in the scoreboard at 8.5, and then we're going to score at 4 1/4, or just fold in half. So that's going to be the base. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make the front cover. So what you're going to need is a piece that is 6 7/8 by 8 1/4, and on the 6 7/8 side we're going to score at 2 and at 6 1/4. So that's to make the flap. So when you fold it, this is what it should look like. So we have a little flap here, we turn it, and here's a little 1/2 inch panel. So that's for the front cover. Let's go ahead and make the next page. Okay, the next two pieces that we're going to be needing is to create some flaps. So the first one that you're going to need is 4 1/4 by 8, and on the 4 1/4 inch side we're going to score at a 1/2 inch, and that's going to create a side flap. So let me push that off to the side, and then we're going to need a top flap. So for that you're going to need a piece that is 4 by 8.5, and on the 8.5 inch side we're going to score at a 1/2 inch, and that's going to create a top flap. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so let's start putting some of our pieces together. So this is our base. So we just scored it in half. And then let's go ahead and grab our front cover flap. This is the 6 7/8 by 8 1/4. And then all I did was just creased on the score marks. And let's see here. So we have our 2 inch here. That's going to be on the front. And then if we turn it, we have our 1/2 inch. That's what's going to attach to our booklet. So I've already added double-sided tape. So let's go ahead and just remove the paper backing. And I'm going to place it. So let me show you. So here is our 1/2 inch mark, right? I've got double-sided tape on this side. Here's our booklet that's opening like this. We're going to add it right to there. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn it towards me like that, and just line it up edge to edge, and then just burnish it down. Okay. All right, perfect. So now what we have is something that looks like this. So we have this, open it up, and here we have more pages, okay? So let's go ahead and close up this. We're going to make a side tuck pocket for our front cover. So let's open up this 2 inch flap, and we're just going to add glue to the top and to the bottom. And if you know me, you know I am using Reptile glue, my fave. Okay. Now at this point, if you want to do a thumb notch, you certainly can. I actually don't want to for this particular project in this particular pocket. All right, so let's go ahead and just make sure that's burnished down really well. Okay. Make sure nothing is seeping on the ends. Okay, so now we have our little pocket here. Okay, let's go ahead and open this up. And I'm just putting the cover back on. Okay, let's go ahead and now open this up. So now we have a panel here and here. Let's go ahead. We're going to attach the side pocket. That's your 4 1/4 by 8. I've already added double-sided tape to my 1/2 inch mark. And I'm just going to add it to the edge on the left-hand side. Now I made this just a smidge smaller. So let's go ahead and just attach it right to the edge. There we go. Burnish that down. Let's open that up and burnish that down. Okay, so now we have a side flap on the left-hand side. Now let's add a top flap to this side. So let's go ahead and bring in our 4 by 8 1/2. I've already added double-sided tape to our 1/2 inch mark. And I'm just going to attach it to the top of the page. So I'm going to go upside down because it's easier for me. You know that. And I made it again just slightly smaller. So I'm just trying to go right in the middle. Like that. Okay. And then burnish that. All right, perfect. Okay, so now we have our side flap and we have our top flap. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, next let's go ahead and just turn the page. And now we have some white spaces. So what I thought I might do is create a belly band for the left-hand side. And what you're going to need is a piece that is 1 1/2 by 8. And you're just going to center it right in the middle. Just like that. So let's go ahead and grab some glue or tape. I would suggest though glue because when it dries, you don't have to worry about anything kind of going and getting stuck. Let's see. Let's see, like that. Make sure it's straight. Okay, so there's our belly band, and you can certainly place it on any page you want. I thought this page might be good. Okay, so now we have that. Let's just see here. So now we have our belly band where we can add some stuff. Let's add something now to the right-hand side. Okay, next I think I'm going to do a diagonal pocket on the right-hand side. So I've just created myself a diagonal pocket using a 4 by 4 1/4 piece of scrapbook paper. I am going to do a thumb notch notch on that one. And now I'm just going to add glue on this side and the bottom. So let's go ahead, and I made it just slightly smaller. Again, the reason why I do that is I don't want it to interfere with my pages closing. So I'm just going to do it right justified like that, and then to the edge. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and burnish that down really well. Perfect. Okay, so now we have our little diagonal pocket on the right-hand side. Okay, so now we have that all set. And I think I want to do on the back pocket, I'm going to do another diagonal pocket. So for that one, what you're going to need is a piece that is 4 1/4 by 7. So 4 1/4 by 7, and we're going to add it right to the back, just like that. And all I did it was I cut from one corner to the other, and that gave me my diagonal. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and add a thumb notch to this one here. So let's see, right about there. Okay, let's get rid of this garbage. And again, I'm going to add glue to the right-hand side and to the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. See, I need to re-up on my glue. I need to fill my bottle again. There we go. And to the bottom. There we go. And I am going to start in the corner. I like to start in the corner to make sure that I am perfectly straight and aligned. So if I start in the corner, I know that I'm always going to be straight. Okay, and just burnish that down really well. Make sure that glue has time to adhere. There we go. Okay, just make sure there's nothing on the edges, and there's not. Okay, so now we have our corner tuck spot. So there's our book so far. So now what I want to do is I want to add, I think, let's see here. I want to add another pocket. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to the inside here. So let me close it again. So here's our front cover, right? We have our tuck spot here. Here's our side flap, top flap. If we open up our side flap, I'm going to place a rip pocket right here to hide that hinge. So for that, what I did was I cut myself a piece that is 2 1/2 by 8 1/4, and I am just going to rip the edge because I want to give it a little bit of personality here. Okay, get rid of that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add it right like that, okay? So let's go ahead and get the glue, and I'm going to add glue to the top, the side, and the bottom. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our glue, just like that. And just make sure that you don't get it too close to the score mark so that it doesn't impede in your opening and closing your flap. Make sure that's burnished. I love making things like this, guys. So many possibilities. There we go. Okay, nice and burnished. Okay, and this closes no problem. And now we have a pocket that we can add some things there. Okay, now let's see here. I think what I want to do is I want to make another little pocket here. So for this, let me tell you what we're going to need. Okay, for the inside pocket, you're going to need a piece that is 5 by 3 1/2, and we're going to score at a 1/2 inch on 3 sides. So 1, score again, and the 3rd. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this back. And then let's fold and crease. Okay, and do the second side and the bottom. Just like that. Good. Okay. Now let's go ahead and just miter cut our corners. So where we have our little boxes, we're going to miter and miter the top as well. And I'm going to show you an up close. Okay. Okay, so this is what it should look like. We miter cut the tops, right? and then the corners. Now let's go ahead and add some glue, and we're going to go ahead and attach it right to the bottom, just like that. Now let's go ahead and add a little thumb notch. There we go. Oops, did that cut? There we go. Okay. Okay, so I added my little thumb notch. Now let's just go ahead and add some glue to the 3 sides. You can use glue or tape. I'm just going to use my glue because I have it right next to me. Making sure there's tons of glue. And then just add it right to the bottom. Like that. Okay. Burnish that down. Okay, and now we have our pocket here. So, let's go ahead and close that. So now we have our top flap and a pocket. We have a side flap and a side tuck spot. So that's good. Now, let's go ahead and make a file folder. Okay, so what we're going to need for the file folder is a piece that is 7 3/4 by 10. And let's go ahead and place it in at the 7 3/4 inch side. And we're going to score at a 1/2 inch, 3 7/8, and 7 1/4. And then we're going to turn it to the 10-inch side, and we're going to score at 3. Okay, so that's going to be for the file folder. Let's go ahead and fold and crease on our score marks. Let's see, just like that. Okay, and then let's do, okay, and this side. Okay, and then we're going to do the 3 7/8. Just like that. Okay. Fold. Okay, so now we have everything folded. What we need to do is we need to make some cuts. So if we're looking at our piece like this, we have our long panel and then our 2 short panels. We're going to get rid of the little side panels on the smaller end. So let me show you how we're going to do that to give you a better visual. Okay, so on each side we're going to miter cut the top. We're going to get rid of this panel altogether, and then we're going to angle cut the tab. So let's do the side one again. So we're just going to get rid of that small little box on the side, and then we're just going to angle cut the longer panel, just like that. Down and like that. Okay, that's all the cutting that we need to do. Okay, let's go ahead now, and you can either use tape or glue. I'm going to use tape here, and we're just going to add it to the inside of our 1/2 inch score on the sides, just like, let's burnish down our tape that we just put down. Get rid of the paper backing, and then we're just going to fold right onto itself, just like that. Do the same thing on the opposite side. And we're going to burnish that down as well. Oh, perfect. Okay, so now we have our two sides done, right? So now what we need to do is let's fold it in half. So now we have our smaller little panel here and a longer panel like that. Our opening is on the left-hand side. We're going to cut from the corner just a little bit, and I'll show you how much. Just about this much. Okay, so just went from the corner to out with the opening on the left-hand side. Now, let's go ahead and open it, and if we fold it up, it's going to give us just a little bit of an opening, so it's easier to place things in and out of. Okay, let's go ahead and add some glue to the sides, and we'll finish up with this file folder. So I'm just going to add it only to the side, just like that. Fold it up like that. Okay, burnish that down, make sure the glue has time to adhere, and then do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So I'm just going to add glue just right there. So from the corner, come on, my glue is stuck, my glue is stuck. Come on, glue. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and just lift it up. Make sure it's on the edge. Okay, let's go ahead and just place the top back on. There we go. Okay. Use this and we'll just make sure that it's burnished down. Okay, so now our file folder, narrow file folder, is all done. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that I want to add this probably to, let's see, where do I want to add this? I can add it anywhere, but I think I'm going to add it to my belly band. So there is that. Now what I want to do is I want to create a little booklet for the front. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now for the white pages for our book, we are going to take 4 pieces of copy paper and we're going to cut them down to 6 3/8 by 6 3/8. So let's go ahead and do that. 6 3/8 by 6 3/8. Okay, let's save these pieces because I could certainly use them. Okay, now all we need to do is just fold them in half. So just like that. Fold it in half. Okay, burnish that down really well. And now that should fit really nicely inside. I've left a little bit of room. Let me maybe do it this way so you can see it a little bit better. I've left a little bit of room here as well as the top and the bottom. So now let's go ahead and put this together. So let's open up our cover booklet. Let's open up all our pieces here. All right, and let's go ahead and add it where we think we want it nice and centered. All right, let's just see right about there. Okay, let's grab my stapler. Do I want it that way? No, let's do it this way. Let's see, I'm going to move it over just a little bit. Okay, and let's do this side as well. And let's do the middle. Let's see, that that looks about centered. Okay, so there is our little booklet. Let me move that over. I'm going to bring back in my bone folder just so I can make sure that I am burnishing this down really well. And now there is our 4th of July little book. So now I like to just go through and just kind of with my finger, kind of just go over each page to make sure that when it opens up nicely. There's that. And then we'll do this side as well. There we go. And second to last one and last page. Okay, so now all of our pages turn really, really nicely. So there's our book. So now we have a little booklet and we have 8 pages where we can write. So now let's go ahead and bring back in our project. And what I'm thinking is I want to go ahead and just add it right like that, right in the front. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have so far. Okay, so here is our book so far. So we have our front cover, we have our little book. Open this, we have a side flap, and then we have a side tuck pocket here. Then we have a top flip here. We have a pocket here. Turn the page. We have a belly band here, and we created a little file folder, just like that. And then we have a pocket here, and then turn to the back cover, and we have another pocket here. So now it's time to go ahead and decorate it, and then I'll be right back, and I'll show you what I've done. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead and I have decorated, and oh my goodness guys, I am completely in love with this little mini album. So let me go ahead and show you what I've done. So here is the cover, and what I did was I just placed a cut apart right in the front, and I've only glued down half of it, so the other half is free. Added some gems. And then, let me take this out super quick. And then I found this washi tape that I had. So I included some washi tape and then these little red star gems. And then in the inside, I just created a little notebook to add some of my journaling. So I just took a piece of paper, folded it in half, added a cut apart, added some gems, and there we have our little notebook. So that I've included right in the front. So when we open it, here are our sides. On the left hand side, I just backed a cut apart onto some silver cardstock, added gems. And then this is actually a cut apart, so I just added it there, added some pretty gems, and included another cut apart. And then here we have our pocket, just added a cut apart, added some little smaller cut aparts and some gem. So there is that. And then on the right hand side we have our flip. So I've just included a star cut apart and multi-matted that, added a little gem in the middle. So there's our flap, and then on the inside we have our pocket. Again, a cut apart, backed it onto some silver cardstock, and then included some more cut aparts in that pocket. And then when we turn the page, we have this long belly band here. Just added a cut apart, matted it, added some gems, cut out a little diagram there just to give it some interest at the top. And then inside of the belly band, I created this little file folder. So added some cut aparts inside the file folder. We can add all kinds of goodies inside of here. Added some cut aparts and backed those onto some silver cardstock. So there is that file folder. And then on this side here, I just have a flag matted that we have our diagonal pocket and then some additional cut aparts that I backed up onto some scrapbook paper. And then on the back, we have another diagonal pocket here. And again, just decorated with cardstock cut aparts and backed those and added some silver cardstock there. So didn't this come out absolutely adorable? What a great way to document those 4th of July fun that you have, or if you want to go ahead and do a gift for someone, tons of ways that you can do that. I absolutely love this folio, down to the pockets and then the notebooks and the file folders. Just gives you all kinds of great ways that you can make and gift different things to. Alright guys, well that's all I have for you today. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you have, guys, thank you so much. Your support goes an awful long way in helping my channel out. Alright guys, until the next time, stay safe, be kind, and keep it creative.